Tonight with a developing story out of Pierce County. Deputies have arrested two teenagers they say stole a car at gunpoint in Tacoma, then drove that car to a high school in Lakewood. The suspects are ages 15 and 17 years old. That 17-year-old managed to get inside the school before she was nabbed by Pierce County Sheriff's deputies. Investigators also say they recovered the gun that the teen girls used to steal that car. Fox 13 reporter AJ Janival is following the story for us live tonight. And AJ, you spoke to the victim of this carjacking. How is she doing?
Hannah, can you imagine just walking out of your home, these homes right here behind me, and a stranger is pointing a gun right at you? As you mentioned, that happened to a mom living in these apartments. Pierce County Sheriff acted fast, fearing what these gun-toting teenagers could do next. You should feel safe at home. Unfortunately, that's not the case for Martha.
I mean, you're going to be scared for your life, literally, because they had a gun.
I spoke to Martha hours after dealing with one of the most traumatic situations she's ever experienced, being carjacked feet from her front door. Martha didn't want to use her last name and wear obscuring her face. She tells me around 1 Wednesday afternoon, she got into her car to go pick up her 6-year-old son. Then a stranger opened her door and pointed a gun right at her.
I was shaking when I called the cops. Yes, I was shaking. I was stuttering.
The suspects, two teenage girls, 15 and 17 years old, carrying a stolen pink and silver handgun, took off in Martha's white Jeep.
It was such a danger to the community to have somebody that would just rob somebody of their vehicle at gunpoint, a total stranger.
Sergeant Darren Moss with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department says, having probable cause, deputies went after the teens. At points, the stolen vehicle hit 80 miles per hour, even driving off-road, popping its front tires. The teens crashed outside of Clover High School. Then, the scariest part of this wild ride, the 17-year-old ran inside the high school with the gun while classes were still going on.
Well, that's our worst nightmare. You know, we're trying to protect the community, and then in this pursuit, at the end, they end up running into a school where our most vulnerable people are our children.
Thankfully, no one was hurt. The two teens are in custody. Martha's car is damaged, but she's looking at the bright side of this harrowing ordeal.
It's crazy. I'm just glad my son was not in the car with me. That's all I'm thankful for.
Just a couple hours later.
And I think that's why it hasn't hit me so hard, because I'm just grateful that my son was at school when that happened.
Clover High School was placed on lockdown during this incident. Sergeant Darren Moss says those suspects were taken into custody around 1:30. The car only stolen at 1 o'clock, meaning this entire nightmare lasted just 30 minutes. But the effects of this ordeal will last a lot longer for the people who live here behind me.